Hello everybody, Jason Zaleski here, and welcome to this American Legion Summer Baseball Special as we prepare to talk about Marshfield post-54 baseball. We are brought to you today and all season by Grassland Dairy. Grassland Dairy providing dairy ingredients for any size kitchen, and they will be providing home and away Marshfield post-54 baseball in 2019 all summer long. I'm joined now by Steve Maves and Coach Josh Metz. Steve, Josh, thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we appreciate everybody showing up today. Steve, one of our broadcasters here, he's actually going to broadcast all post-9 baseball. Doug Zaleski, turns out is my father. He will be the voice of the Marshfield Blue Devils, so we're looking forward to a great 2019 season. Steve, you're up.
First off, thanks for coming, Coach. Just first off, talk about your coaching career. How long have you been coaching Legion, and what really brings you coming back?
Yeah, this is my third year as coaching Legion. Second year as the head coach. My first year I was an assistant with Tom Sorensen and Mike Klein. And then they both stepped away, and then I took over. So third year coaching Legion. I'm also the freshman coach at the high school in Marshfield. This was my third spring doing that. Also help out with the varsity. And then this past winter was my second winter coaching hockey here at Marshfield as well. So head JV coach and assistant varsity coach. So keep getting more experience, and it's really the kids that keep you going. Just a really good group of kids I've been fortunate to have so far, especially this senior class. I've been with them now for 3 years, kind of between different sports and whatnot, and we can joke, and we just have fun with each other. So that for sure is definitely a driving force, and what keeps me going and keeps me excited about coaching for the next 20-30 years, hopefully. So
yeah, good. Well, we hope so too. We enjoy Coach Metz being around. Just like 2018, again this year you can watch games. Go to ZaleskiSportsShow.com, click Live Sports, or stay tuned to the Zaleski Sports Facebook network. Last year we broadcast a bunch of Blue Devil games. We're going to hit kind of a high speed this year with all the games. Steve's going to talk about, or he's going to ask you actually, Coach, some of your memories from last year. I'll give one if that's okay.
Yep.
Ben Gust walk-off sac fly in the 10th inning. I don't remember who it was against, but I know that you mentioned fun. The guys had fun last year, but I'll turn it over back to Steve here for the next question.
Yeah, Coach, just talk about some of your favorite memories. Jason just talked about Ben Gust's sacrifice fly. Just talk about some of your favorite memories from the team and season last year. Yeah,
what really sticks out is we hit a 12-game win streak, the longest win streak in our Legion history, which was pretty awesome. To win 12 in a row in the conference we play in, and what I assembled as a pretty strong non-conference schedule last summer was impressive. Especially we started 0-4, and then after that we went on a 12-game win streak. So that brought a lot of the highlights. A lot of things just went the right way. We got the clutch hit when we needed to. We, the Anago play with Ben Gust, walk-off sac fly. That was a game that was right in the middle of it. Things just went our way. So, it was just a lot of that. I mean, I don't know that there's any specific moments that stick out, but just overall a good summer. We had a good team. So, it didn't end the way we wanted it to, but at the same time, I mean, we won a lot of games. I believe we won 21 games or something. 21-16, I think we were, something like that. So, I mean, again, the Valley Conference is one of the best in the state. So to play those teams all twice, and then I do my best to put together a very strong non-conference schedule, get us teams that hopefully we could see later in the season, and so to win 21 games, it was really a good year.
All right, good. Well, we're going to get into the 2019 season here just a little bit. That starts in earnest on Friday, June 7th against Merrill. With state baseball as it is, we will be full throat with you guys sometime that following week, but really looking forward to the 2019 season. Steve, I know we're going to talk maybe about some of the specific players here next.
Yeah, like you said, you helped out with the varsity Marshfield team. Just fell yesterday, extra innings against a very good Eau Claire North team.
Yep.
And have some of those guys on your team this year. Just talk about some of the guys that you look for to lead this team, dugout practice during the games. Just talk about some of those guys.
Yeah, as far as Marshfield, honestly, all of them will have a big role. They obviously had a very good spring. The jump they made from last spring, summer to this year was huge. I go back to it all started in football with this senior class. They got better as the fall went on, and you could just see their confidence, gain through that. It carried over into basketball. Our hockey team set a school record for wins. The wrestling team had a good season, good winter. I mean, it all carried over, and these guys just found out how to win, so they knew how to win games. Yesterday in that Eau Claire North game, you felt like, even when they went down 2-0 in the first inning, it felt like we were going to pull that game out at some point. We didn't, but they just battle. They find way. That Holman game, the game before against Eau Claire North, the Holman pitcher had us on the ropes, and we found a way to battle in the fifth inning, put together some hits, and took the lead, and they never let down. So I mean, Preston Wagner and Will Voss were the top two pitchers. They're gonna pitch a lot of innings for me this summer. Logan Schreiner was around the number 3. He'll throw plenty as well. Mason Coffrin, I haven't decided what I'm going to do with him. He's in the starter reliever role. We'll see where he fits best. But he was one of the top hitters this spring, so he'll play a huge role playing first base most of the time, batting second or third, I think, in that area. Riley Bushak, Isaiah Boyrell, Jacob Earl, and Ben Gust, all those guys will play a major role for me. They're all coming back from last year, so I know what they have. They really made a jump this spring, and it gives me even more confidence in the role they'll play and how it's going to help us this summer. So,
yeah, you mentioned Mason Coffrin. Mason and I have kind of had a bit of a joking history over the past number of months and seasons. So Mason, no extra points in baseball. It doesn't work like that. Even if you are a game-winning kicker every now and then.
Yeah.
Baseball, different sport. It's a joke. He'll understand that. So again, live games all year long available. ZaleskiSportsShow.com. Click Live Sports and you check out updates on the schedules and highlights on the Facebook network. That's the Zaleski Sports Facebook network. Coach, let's go back to the roster just real quick, and I'll turn it back over to Steve. But unlike high school sports, where you're limited to your attendance and those kids are in school, you get to draw from a bigger area, so you get to kind of recruit or even kind of prospect for players. Talk about how that works and how you invite players onto the team.
Yeah, I mean, I think as I go, it's going to get easier and easier. It's word of mouth. I mean, it's, contacting the coaches in the spring and just, letting them know that, hey, we're interested. And, if you have players, my big thing is that, yes, this is Marshfield post 54, and yes, I coach at the high school, but by no means is this it's not a building ground for Marshfield. So I want local players to play. I want them to feel welcome, that they have just as much of an opportunity. Last year, some of our best players were from out of town. Logan Matson, Devin Tabirin come to mind, two all-conference players for me that came from out of town. So, we have 3 from Neilsville this year, 2 from Greenwood, both returning players, Jager Johnson and Trajan Bogdanovich, and then 4 Stratford guys. So, it's a good mix. And again, all 4 of those schools played in sectionals yesterday. So, that's some really good success this spring. And it's a good chunk of returning guys, but enough new guys that hopefully they can come in and contribute. And I think it'll really help with our team chemistry early on for sure, having as many guys back as we do. They already know each other. There's not a lot of, getting used to each other and whatnot, as there was last year. Last year there was definitely a new group of guys coming in. It was a big turnover. I think we only had maybe 2 or 3 guys back from the senior team the year before, whereas this year we're bringing back, I think it's 10 or 11. So it's a big difference, and I think it'll be huge. But the surrounding areas, it's great to have that. You look back at some of the Marshfield Legion teams that have had major success in the past, and it's guys from out of town. Just recently you think of Nate McDonald, Bobby Pills, guys that are playing for the Shaps now that are having great success. Those are the types of guys we need to get, and definitely have them come in and contribute.
Yeah, good. Well, again, Coach, we're really looking forward to the season. Steve and I talk all the time about you can't predict high school sports. It's just we'd like to.
Yeah.
It may be our job to easier sometimes. You just can't. But I know Steve wants to talk to you a little bit about getting close maybe to a prediction or some things that are going to happen this year.
Yeah, and you talked about the success that all the teams that you're drawing kids from had this spring. Just talk about some expectations this summer for your ball club.
Yeah, I'll be honest, before spring ball started, kind of projecting the roster, we lost Connor Jacerta and Jake Brigham, 2 ace pitchers. Those are tough guys to replace, so I was definitely concerned about what we were going to have pitching, and would we have the hitting, losing to Buren and Matson. It just, how was it going to work? But seeing the jump these guys made, especially at Marshfield, because I don't get to see a lot of the surrounding schools coaching the freshmen and whatnot. I try to get out as much as I can, but still, just to see how their records and to see them all have success and get to sectionals gave me a lot of hope going in. So I went from maybe a 500 team to now I think the expectations are probably pretty high. So I would like to think we can for sure match that 20 win mark we had last year. I don't know about a 12-game win streak. That obviously doesn't happen very often, but I think 20-ish wins for sure will be kind of the mark. We're playing the same amount of games we did last year, barring rainouts. So I think that's a good target to shoot for. And to me, the big thing is just getting set for regionals this year. Last year, we hit our stride in the middle of the season, but it fell off at the end. So I've kind of done a few things with the schedule. Our last weekend is at home rather than on the road this year. I gave us a weekend off in June, just things to hopefully get us clicking at the right time. So getting us clicking in July rather than June. I think we do a really good job hosting, and I think we could really put on a good tournament. It is tough to plan far enough in advance to get teams. You really have to start looking. I'd have to start looking soon, almost as soon as the season ends, to get going on putting together a tournament. So it's just developing relationships with coaches, teams around the area, get an understanding, hey, we'll come there if you come here next year, that type of thing. Unfortunately, Hackman is booked on the weekends, first weekend of June, second weekend of June, third weekend of June. So my hands are tied as far as the weekends go. That leaves me 3 weekends to work with. The last weekend of June and 2 weekends in July. So, that's not much. With the new facility at the high school going up next year, I'm not exactly sure, but I'm a little more optimistic that maybe we can get a game or 2 there if need be. Just right now, we just having to go on the road. We play 20 road games this year and 13 home games. It's not ideal. We do some heavy traveling. We're going to Green Bay, Manitowoc. It can wear on you. So, but yeah, that's kind of what goes into it. And yeah, my first year was a little rough, I didn't know when to start scheduling and who to contact, and so all of a sudden teams are telling me they got full schedules already, and I haven't even started. So it was a little rough, but we got a fair amount, and I think I figured out that magic number of games between I think 33 and 35 is a pretty good number. It's just enough, but not too much, and at least that's how it worked last year. We'll see how this year goes, but it seems like that's going to be a pretty good number moving forward. And it's such a quick season, It's basically a 6-week season. Once you get going, you blink and it's over. So you're getting ready for regionals. So you just do what you can, put together the best. Again, obviously playing in the Valley, it helps that we have that built-in 16 games, I think, of good competition. So but there's a lot of local talent too. Over in that Eau Claire area, over in the Appleton area, there's a lot of good teams. So that'll be the focus. Always trying to get better, just play better teams, that's always what I'm looking for. So hopefully in the future we'll develop more relationships with coaches, and that'll be that. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, again, Coach, best of luck in 2019.
Thank you.
Post 54 Marshfield Blue Devils, Coach Josh Metz, thanks for being here today.
You bet.
Alongside Steve Maves, Jason Zaleski, and again, we are looking forward to a full 2019 American Legion baseball season all around central Wisconsin. And the Marshfield Blue Devil broadcast schedule brought to you by Grassland Dairy, providing dairy ingredients for kitchens of any size. And we will have those broadcasts for you again all summer long. Find them at ZaleskiSportsShow.com. Click Live Sports. We'll see you out on the baseball field.